This this video is brought to you by Brown Dog chewing on a bone sitting next to me. Poor guy doesn't get to see me anymore, so I'm not gonna kick him out. But anyway, guys, this is an update on Eliza Fletcher's murder. And those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Eliza Fletcher is a very personal case to us over here. We were following that the weekend that she was kidnapped and able to actually break the news before the police did. They had found her in behind a house in Memphis. But Eliza Fletcher's murder, the former law enforcement official says police dropped the ball investigating the 2021 rape. We knew this. We've gone over this. We've blasted the TBI. I am a Tennessean, and I've made it my goal that that the Tennessee legislature takes this up. That it took 49 weeks in a previous rape case that Pookie here, his nickname, his jailhouse nickname, had raped a girl 49 weeks before kidnapping and Eliza Fletcher and murdering her. So he shouldn't have been in jail, or he should have been under the jail. Let's go ahead and read this article. A former federal law enforcement official says the Memphis Police Department didn't properly investigate a 2021 rape that was allegedly committed by the same individual who police say killed Eliza Fletcher. Cleotha Henderson, 38, Pookie is his nickname, was charged with first-degree murder and especially aggravated kidnapping in relation to the death of Fletcher. He was also charged with aggravated rape in relation to a September 2021 incident involving another Memphis woman. The woman, Alicia Franklin, sued Memphis Police Department and alleged that they didn't properly investigate the 2021 incident, which allowed Henderson to remain out of jail. In that incident, she knew who he was, she says. She's like, look, I can show you his social media. I can give you his phone number. They brought her in for questioning to do a police lineup thing. They showed her pictures of him, and she told the police, well, I'm not sure if that's him. And so that's how that ball kind of got dropped to where it wasn't an emergency rape case, because her story kind of conflicted a little bit at the time, according to the reports I read. All right. Obviously, we know now that if the rape kit had come back sooner, I mean, if you send off a thing for Ancestry.com, you get that back in a couple weeks. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is taking 49 weeks on rape cases, and they have 3 divisions in Tennessee, and each one is that long to get a rape kit back. So you have a rapist walking around for that long on the streets after an accused event happened. And remember, not all rapes get reported, so you have no idea the type of terror. These people, that's probably the word I'm looking for. These people are terrorists walking on the streets, and we're not doing anything about it, and we can. It's the simplest thing in the world. Instead, politicians want to give you, what sells good. It's like, oh, we need more books for kids at schools, where kids aren't even reading. Sorry, I got a little soapbox there. Cleotha Henderson should have been arrested in 2021, the lawsuit says, and the abduction and murder of Eliza Fletcher would not have occurred. Henderson and Franklin met on an online dating app, so that's how she had the information. In August 2021, the lawsuit states. Oh, and by the way, for those of you that don't know, the rape kit came back the day, I think it was the day or within like a couple days of when the Eliza Fletcher event happened. So it is such a slap in the face. If it isn't karma telling everybody to wake up and do something, I don't know what is. They met for what intended to be a first date. The lawsuit states that Henderson went by the name Cleo on the dating app. When the two met for a date outside a Memphis apartment, which was Henderson's last address, he allegedly forced the woman into a vacant unit within the apartment complex while holding a gun, threatening to kill her. He also blindfolded her with a t-shirt and threatened to kill her, the lawsuit says, adding that Henderson allegedly took the woman into a car and forced her into the back seat and raped her. That's a lot of stuff going on there. He forced her into a vacant unit and then forced her into the back of a car. Investigators sent a rape kit to the TBI for analysis, which took 9 months to complete, and didn't return a match for Henderson until September 5th, 3 days after Fletcher died. So there you go. Fletcher was allegedly kidnapped by Henderson on the morning of September 2nd, and police say she was abducted and forced into his dark-colored GMC Terrain. Her body was found on September 5th in the rear of a vacant duplex apartment. A spokesperson for the TBI told Fox News Digital that the Memphis Police Department didn't request an expedited analysis of the sexual assault kit from the September 2021 incident, and no suspect information or DNA standard was included in the submission. So what? I mean, I love how TBI is like, oh, well, it's not our fault. They didn't ask for it to be expedited. You have 49 weeks, okay? Every rape kit should be expedited. This is the most asshole statement I've ever heard in my life. Excuse my language, but I get mad, furious over this. I'm from Memphis. Okay? This is my hometown. This is Tennessee is never done. I've never heard Tennessee drop the ball like this on something. I mean, we're supposed to be a leader state, not a Me Too state, not a following. I mean, this is, by God, people from Tennessee said to hell with it, went to Texas and fought Mexico for independence. I mean, this is a long history of rebel rousers. And when they see something like a wrong being done, they stand up for what's right. And now you're sitting here going, well, it's not our fault. We're the bigger agency. We're the one that has more resources. But it's really Memphis's fault. Get a life, dude. I mean, that standard, that whatever make-believe world you live in, go back to it, okay? But don't do it around us. You don't belong in public sector. You're a horrible public servant. You have failed the taxpayers of Tennessee. You have failed the people you work for, and you need to go somewhere else. Sorry for my offbeat ramps. If a request for expedited analysis was made, results would have been made within 5 business days. If I were every police department in the state of Tennessee ought to ask for every single case to be expedited just to send it to the TBI. And you know what TBI will say? It's going to take 49 weeks. What are they doing there the rest of the time? If they should not allow their employees to sit around and drink coffee. According to the lawsuit, police took no physical evidence directly from the crime scene itself when the crime was reported. They didn't have to. They had the victim. I mean, they had the victim. You don't have to the victim doesn't have to show them where evidence happened. It's the victim's word. Physical evidence. No physical evidence. They took a damn rape kit. That is physical evidence. Jeez, don't make excuses, you dumbasses. I'm sorry, guys. Excuse me. Information on the dating app and see here. The victim gave police the name Cleo, a phone number, a description of the car used in the incident, information about the dating app the two met on, and social media information. The lawsuit says that Franklin couldn't identify the suspect in a lineup by police, who she allegedly overheard saying, maybe we need to show her a newer picture. This photo is 10 to 12 years old. Police then told Franklin that they would show her a newer picture, but allegedly failed to do so, according to the lawsuit. Henderson was previously convicted of the kidnapping and robbery of Memphis attorney Kemper Durand, and his DNA was on file. Former Assistant U.S. Attorney Nima Ramani told Fox News Digital that the Memphis Police Department dropped the ball investigating the 2021 race. I think that's funny. Former Assistant U.S. Attorney. U.S. attorneys don't deal with rape cases. So, like, this person, my opinion is just as equal to this. All right? I've never tried a rape case either. Okay. Romani added that he thinks the case went cold after the DNA sample took a longer period of time to return, but he said that Memphis police officers should have at least gone to the scene to gather additional evidence, which the lawsuit alleged didn't happen. It was in a car. I mean, like, what other evidence can you get? I'm sorry. You have the victim's clothing. You have the victim's statement. You have the victim's. You have the DNA test kit done. What? I mean, think about this. Is there evidence everywhere for a sexual act? I mean, what were they supposed to do? This is a simple open and shut case. I mean, a lot of people just, it's as simple as saying, hey, look, dude, we got your DNA. We have a witness. Do you want to work with us and admit to this and just, you're going to go back to jail? Or do you want to work against us and you're going to go to jail for a longer time? He needs to go to jail for a longer time. The Memphis Police Department had decided to request an expedited analysis. Romani argues that the tragedy could have been avoided. That's not their fault. Why is everybody defending the TBI on this? I'm sorry, but I think that putting evidence into a rape kit immediately makes it an expedited request. Again, if Ancestry.com can do it, surely to hell the powers of the state of Tennessee government can do it. While Romani feels that police didn't properly investigate the alleged rape, he doesn't think the lawsuit will be successful. I think our case will be dismissed because it's well established that a delay or even failure to investigate is not actionable in civil courts. General failure to act aren't the basis for civil liability by police officers. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Failure to act is not. Police officers, they're not liable for that. You don't have a duty to react. That goes to act. You don't have a duty to act. That's for people and for police unless they caused the problem. So the case here actually could be Eliza Fletcher's family could sue. That's what that looks like. I don't know. I'm just skeptical off the top of the brain. Thinking of ideas. How do you get from point A to point B? All right. It's not always a straight line. As the saying goes, as the crow flies, crows do not fly in straight lines. So, Sergeant Betsy Bratner Smith, a spokesperson for the National Police Association, who previously worked cases involving sex crimes, told Fox News that it was hard for the Memphis Police Department to predict that a suspect would go on to allegedly murder someone, and if they did, the request would have been expedited. We have the benefit of hindsight. But you know what, though? Rape should be a capital offense. I think the Supreme Court has it wrong. Rape should be a capital offense. There are instances when you can prove, like these serial rapists now that are popping up, you don't ever hear about that. Or a serial pedophile, should be a capital offense. But I'm a guy who's against the death penalty because the death penalty doesn't work. We don't use it. I wish we would. Go back to the Old West and do it in town square. We have the benefit of hindsight. It's called hindsight bias. We have the benefit of hindsight. It's called hindsight bias. So, jeez. Hindsight's always 20/20. So, of course, I would imagine most police would have been able to predict that this guy was going to go out and rape or murder someone. They would have asked for it to be expedited, but this is not the only sexual assault that I'm sure they're dealing with. We can't look at Memphis PD and say, well, you should have known or you should have predicted, she added. Smith also said that there needs to be a push by politicians to better fund forensic analysis labs to prevent incidents like this from happening in the future. I bet you the funding's there. That's the whole thing. The funding is there. A politician should be in favor of this kind of funding. And it can go, like in Memphis, that they're sending it to. They sent this rape kit to TBI. Really, any police department in town with 200,000 or more should probably have their own lab. It's, yeah. I hate to say it, but I mean, I don't hate to say it. I'm glad to say it. But with TBI, you have 200,000 or more in a town. One, there's a lot of towns with 200,000 people in them. What is a town? Is it a judicial district from the district attorney? Is it a county? You know, just a city is a department that oversees 200,000 people. There's a lot of things there, and besides, you're hoping that like Knoxville, because you're talking about Tennessee here, like Knoxville has 200,000 people. And I bet per 200,000 people, Knoxville has a lower rate of rapes happening than, say, Memphis does per 200,000 people. Okay? So it makes sense to have a bigger organization over it so you're not adding to a duplicity of resources. It actually streamlines it. But still, the fact of the matter is that it took 49 weeks. We don't need to sit here and say they need funding. We don't need to sit here and say this. This person that's talking about hindsight bias, what we need to know is, why did it take you 49 weeks? And you're not allowed to say funding. That's what you do. And you put these people, you talk about having people come up talking before, just talk to the media. You're without saying funding's the reason, because funding gets on everything. Have you ever seen a government agency that said, we have too much funding? So you already know right there that's a scam. I mean, it's a grift, right? It's like, oh, we need more funding. Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. Anyway, guys, please hit that like and subscribe button. Godspeed to Eliza Fletcher's family. I'm so sorry. This is I don't know y'all. I will never meet y'all. But it is I don't know. The case just feels like, it just feels personal because of the way we covered it. And you guys be safe out there, okay? As you can tell from reading this, you're the only person that is responsible for your safety. So, protect yourself, keep your head on a swivel, and be good to each other. Watch other people's backs, even when you don't know them. Just make sure that we all get home safe and have a good time. Till next time, guys, I love y'all, and Godspeed, everybody.